talk about the background of crypto. I want to give you guys some real life applications, talk about security. I'm going to really give you guys timeline goals. All right. I know everybody here is at different levels. Some people may not be able to spell cryptocurrency. Some people may have a lot of investments going absolutely crazy. So I have something for everybody. You're in the right place. Let's go. All right. So first off, I definitely want to go ahead and just give a tip really quickly to my background. So a lot of people may or may not know this, but when I first came to A&T, I actually came to A&T as a student athlete. You can see me right here on the right, my freshman year, 17 years old. And coming as a student athlete, I'm coming from the Baltimore area, Maryland area. Pretty much, I didn't even have a suit when I first came to school. I didn't have zero personal development. So you can see me speaking here with 100 plus people, not a problem. The years of maturity, the years of growth have definitely shown. But one thing that I want to point out, when I came to school, when I got on the tennis team and got more serious into my schoolwork, the great thing is, as a student, as a young person, as a professional, you have the ability to learn. All right. So I never just took what I was learning in the classroom and called it quits. I was a big fan of events like this. Anytime there was people talking about getting better, business, money, or just becoming a better person, I knew that from my background, that's something that I needed. I knew that I didn't have all the tools quite yet, but I was willing to learn. So you fast forward a little bit, I've been able to work at internships, Abbott Laboratories. I got my first internship on campus working with Russell, and that all literally came from A&T, checking those emails that you guys get hit with, paying attention. And that ultimately, led to me graduating, all right, and being able to land my first full-time opportunity working at Facebook, also known as Meta today. All right. And I want to share this as well. A lot of people may or may not know this as well, but you guys can see the date on this Instagram post. Back in 2017, I still can't believe it. It's 2022 now. But back in 2017, as a student, I think I was a junior. I went ahead with a buddy of mine and I made a video how to invest using Coinbase. All right. At the time, Coinbase wasn't even an app. You couldn't buy Bitcoin on Cash App. There was none of that. I think I was talking about it with friends, faculty, and nobody really knew what it was. But what got me interested in cryptocurrency back in 2017 was, number one, how different it was. All right. Number two, having the ability to send money without a centralized organization. And number three, just reading. All right. Reading is really what opened up my mindset. It allowed me to think a little bit ahead of most people my age. And through just opening up a couple of books, I wound up on investments and got into cryptocurrency at the year of 2017. So absolutely amazing. And I want to showcase this as well. You see, in 2017, it looks like Bitcoin was about $12,000 to $15,000. In 2019, it dropped again. And then you had that massive explosion that really happened, honestly, through the pandemic. Right into 2020, through the pandemic, you had a mass adoption of cryptocurrency, and you can see one of the highest prices that it reached was $61,000, all right, back in November 5th, 2021. All right, I remember when, Bitcoin was four figures and nobody knew about it, to today, the market's going absolutely crazy. But the great news is, guys, we are still very early. All right, we are naturally early. We still have hundreds and hundreds of years to go, and you guys are in the right space, perfecting the skill set and simply just getting an introduction to what's going on. All right. So, of course, we have to talk about, what is crypto? All right. What is crypto? What is cryptocurrency? What does it mean? All right. You may hear people talk about it in class, the barbershop, the hair salon. Right now, it's actually pretty popular. People talk about cryptocurrency almost like they may talk about March Madness in sports. It's very trendy. But if we had to put it into a sentence, if we had to go ahead and put it into basic elementary terms, I would just call it digital money created from code. All right. You have digital assets. We're all familiar with the US dollar. All right. We're all familiar, with change and going to the bank and getting our money. But cryptocurrency almost is like, if you think of your favorite video game, you think of your favorite online store, they have coins and tokens that are predicated value. All right. And these coins are actually real living things. It's an economy called the blockchain, which you guys may or may have not heard of. And it's just an encrypted string of data, all right, that's hashed out into currency. So in layman's terms, if I'm explaining it to an elementary schooler, all it is digital money created from code. All right, it's actually a real thing that somebody can create, and it's rising by the day. All right, we're going to go ahead and give a quick breakdown in terms of our definitions, just some great things to know. All right, first things first, when you hear the word blockchain, I remember I was in school and blockchain used to float around a lot. They talked about, man, if you worked in blockchain, you're going to end up making a lot of money. So I'm going to pause right here, and this is where I'm going to tailor it to who I'm talking to. As you guys are gearing up into your career, don't ignore, what's going on in the crypto space in terms of future employment. Back in 2010, 2008, 2012, 2015, and still today, the dream jobs that a lot of people were getting, revolved a lot around either the media space, or you wanted to work at, a Google or Facebook or one of these big tech companies. I'm going to be honest, the way that I see the trends going today from 2020 to 2030, I believe the biggest jobs are going to be in blockchain and cryptocurrency. All right. You can be a blockchain writer. You can be a blockchain broadcaster. You could be an engineer. You could be an account manager. You can be a scientist. All those things that you would do at a regular job. Don't ignore the ability to go actually, search and explore that career path in the blockchain as well. That's just a quick little tidbit for my students on the call. But hand in hand, blockchain is simply a digital ledger of data. And it just adds information securely in a chronological order. So think of a blockchain like an internet. All right. It's an upgraded internet. If we had to put it to a second grader, all right, it's an advanced upgraded internet. All right. Next thing we talked about it, cryptocurrency. It's just a form of digital money. All right. Now, this is a fun one I'll talk about a little bit later as well. NFT. All right. All you need to know is that it stands for a non-fungible token. All right. And we want to treat it like a digital asset or a certificate of authentication. All right. And it lives on the blockchain, just like Instagram lives on the internet. All right. This website lives on the internet. Cryptocurrencies and NFTs live on the blockchain. All right. Next, we have a wallet. We're going to talk a lot about wallets, guys. So a wallet is not like this, a traditional wallet where you may keep your cards at. All right. But a wallet is going to be a digital wallet where you can store custodial, non-custodial cryptocurrencies. You can store NFTs. It's the same concept like you have cards. All right. But instead of having cards, you're going to have cryptocurrencies and NFTs that you can add to your collection. All right. You have exchanges. This is a place pretty much where you can go buy cryptocurrency or go buy NFTs. So think of an exchange. If we have to go into a mall, the exchanges are like stores. All right. Maybe I want to go into Macy's one day. Maybe I want to go to the Dior store one day. This is a physical place where you can go buy these NFTs, cryptocurrencies. But the great thing about the blockchain, guys, unlike the mall or the internet, all right, if I go shopping, Dior and I make an account, that account is automatically going to translate to Macy's. That's what's going on in the Web3 blockchain space, where I make one login, all right, or I get one security pin, and I can use it across every single exchange. All right. And then we talk about Web3. This is something that I've recently learned. I've hosted a few events speaking on Web3 as well. But it's pretty much the decentralized version of the internet, where users can read and write their own content. So think about an advanced internet, digital assets. And for all of my students on the call, all right, you want to be thinking about not only, getting money and investing, but these are also great careers as well, and careers of the future that, hey, if you don't, see what's going on now, 5-10 years, they're going to be the new Googles and new Facebooks, et cetera. All right. So let's get into a little bit practical data. I'm not going to hit you guys with a ton of numbers and words. I want you all to, if you're not already, definitely make sure you have a pen and pad handy, or at least an iPhone note sheet. For all of my individuals who have no idea what I'm talking about, maybe this is new for you, or you're at the very intro stage. This is where I want you to start. All right. I want you to start by just at least downloading today some of the basic apps. All right. That's like me telling you 5-8 years ago, hey, man, download Instagram, download YouTube, download Google Chrome. That's literally what I'm asking you to do right now. All right. So first things first, a crypto wallet. This is the place where you're going to go buy crypto, obviously. All right. It's very simple, very user friendly. Some of the more popular crypto wallets in terms of exchanges, places to buy. You have FTX. I don't know if anybody's into sports. It used to be the Miami Heat Arena. FTX dropped a few M's on the Heat Stadium. And it used to be the American Airlines Heat Stadium. Now it's FTX. All right. Anybody like the Lakers? Instead of the Staples Center, it's now crypto.com. All right. So these companies, like I said, are growing by the day. All right. And they need us, or we need to be in this space because it's literally not going anywhere. All right. And so you got those basic things, these, very easy apps. You go in, put in your ID, and just make your first crypto purchase. I'm encouraging everybody, if you haven't already, make a purchase. It costs $1, $2, $5. That takes you from 1 percentile, all right, to the elite that have at least made a purchase. If you've been able to Apple Pay, if you've been able to Cash App, if you've been able to Zelle, if you've been able to PayPal, if you've been able to make a purchase online, I know that you can be able to buy your first cryptocurrency. And it'll feel amazing. All right. Now, on the more advanced side, for my people that are looking to, have more security, dive deeper into Web3, or look to actually purchase NFTs, you definitely want to go more DeFi. All right. And it's a subject for another day, but DeFi in short stands for decentralized finance. All right. Decentralized finance. All right. Tron Link is another one. Absolutely. There's so many different exchanges that I can list. And guys, if you have anything that's not on here, go ahead and do me a huge favor and drop it in the comment section. All right. If you see, for my avid cryptocurrency enthusiasts, you see something that's not on here, go feel free to drop it in the comment section. There's so many different exchanges. But when you think about decentralized finance, family, you're thinking about finance that's not connected, all right, to a centralized bank. All right, where these are great places to buy cryptocurrency. They're just like a bank where they're going to need your social security, your ID, and they're going to have, tax implications. All right, they're going to pretty much have any type of tax clause that will be required to buy anywhere, anything. But with decentralized, family, you're navigating into a space. And the reason why obviously people love these things is because they're not necessarily tied to you as a person. But this is where crypto has its advantages, where it's no longer about the US government, no longer about the US dollar. A coin is a coin and it can be sent and spent anywhere. All right. So I recommend you definitely, want to go ahead and grab the MetaMask. This is probably the universal, crypto DeFi wallet. You're able to store your NFTs there. If you don't like MetaMask, I love Rainbow. Trust Wallet is great. Crypto.com also has a DeFi wallet. And as you start to, get more money and get more advanced, think about like a USB cord or a USB plug. You have a Ledger wallet. This is what we call a hardcore wallet, or AKA a cold wallet. All right. And this has no connection to no internet, no blockchain. And it's something almost like a safe that you can keep in your house. All right. And even if you guys, most of us may not be able to do all of this stuff today, tomorrow, next week, or next month, it's still great that you all are here getting this information and knowledge. All right. We got Uphold, we got Kraken, Atomic Wallet, Exodus Wallet is great. I love it. I love it. All right. So next, this is where we're going to go in terms of our stages. All right. Everybody can read and see what's on the screen. Just a quick exercise from 1 being you never have done anything to crypto, to 6 being you've purchased, sent, you bought an NFT, you staked the coin. Which number are you? Just go ahead and drop which number are you in the chat. And it's A-OK. I know we're going to have a lot of ones. I know we're going to have a lot of beginners. If you've never bought anything, but you at least got the apps downloaded, go ahead and drop a 2. If you've purchased something, drop a 3. All right. If you've purchased crypto and you use it to pay a bill or send money to a buddy, do a 4. If you have crypto, you purchased, you sent, you spent, and you got an NFT, drop a 5. Let's go. All right. Let's keep it 100. All right. So we got a lot of ones, which I love. That means we're about to go ahead and start shifting. All right. And start turning that tide. All right. We got ones, sixes, we got twos. Okay, we got a few sixes in the house. We got a lot of ones, which I love. I love. Welcome. All right. We got a lot of ones. You guys are in the right place. All right, you guys are in the right place. We got a three. Okay, somebody's purchased some type of crypto before. We got a four. Somebody's used crypto to pay a bill. We got a three. We made, purchased a few crypto coins, whether Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum. It's hundreds of different coins. All right. And the reason why I asked this question, there's a lot of different seminars, workshops, and keynote speakers on credit, on real estate, on financial literacy. And this family is an umbrella of financial literacy. We're going to talk about it later, but the biggest reason why people stay a number one is because they feel like, it's just too much. They feel like they don't know enough. But the reality is it's as simple as pressing a button or putting $5 in to go ahead and go from a number one all the way to a potentially number 3 or 4. All right. So I want us to keep that in mind. All right. Now we're going to dive a little bit deeper, family, and talk more about NFTs. All right. I'm sure everybody on this call has probably heard of it. Maybe their favorite celebrities doing it, favorite artists or athletes doing it. They've seen it on Instagram. But a lot of people, especially for those that drop the ones, may not be as familiar to exactly what it is. All right. An NFT, family, stands for what we said before, a non-fungible token. All right. And I like to explain it as a digital asset. All right. A lot of NFTs, which most people know, are pictures. All right. They're made up of artwork. But the reality is an NFT can be anything. All right. Another way that I would explain it, it is a certificate, all right, of ownership. So I could say, instead of buying this phone, which has, an Apple receipt, all right, what if we sold this phone as an NFT? I still ship it to you, but the receipt is on the blockchain, not the internet, all right, but on the blockchain. Okay, so as you guys are looking at this, like, okay, Nigel, Aggie pride, bro, but I still don't get it. All right, Aggie pride, but I'm still confused. It's A-okay, that's great. All right, you're in a space of confusion. You're in a space of the unknown. That lets me know that we're getting uncomfortable and we're learning new information. All right. Now, the great thing about NFTs compared to me selling this iPhone on, Marketplace, eBay, or Amazon is that you actually, get secondary sales. All right. So let me use another example really quickly. If we got any sneakerheads in the house, all right, if I go ahead and get a pair of Jordans for $200, all right, we got some sneakerheads in the house. All right. And I sell them. All right. I put it out. I sell them and I get $400 back. Okay. My sneakerheads know what I'm talking about. You sell a pair of shoes and you get money back. Now, answer this question to me, yes or no. If the person who I sold them to makes another sale, do I get any money from that? All right. If the person who I sold the sneakers to sells them to somebody else for more money, do I see any of that money? Yes or no? All right. You don't even have to be a sneakerhead to understand once I sell it to you and you sell it to somebody else, that's beyond me. And I wouldn't even know. There's no source. There's no place for me to be able to have that knowledge and understanding. All right. So you guys are getting a lot of no's in the chat. The power of Web3 and NFT specifically is that you are able to get secondary sales, almost like a Spotify song, almost like Apple Music and royalties. All right. But you guys know what's going on with these artists. They're not really making any money. All right. Shout out to Summer Walker. She put out a great tape last year. They said she only sees about 5 to 10% of all of the profits made on her music. So what the NFTs are able to do is artists, creators, celebrities, shoot, me and you can put out a project and we get all the percentage plus the secondary percentages that people are able to make on the backside. All right. So we are in the midst of history and a transfer of ownership and a transfer of wealth from the Web 2, which is traditional internet, to the blockchain space. And again, if you're looking at this and listening to me like Nigel Aggie Pride, but I still don't know, that's A-okay. Just keep writing it down and stay with me. All right. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to keep them at the end. We're literally probably almost done. All right. Now let's make it make sense. I'm sure you guys have seen these pictures before. Shout out to Lil Baby. Shout out to Jay-Z. Shout out to Steph Curry. All right. They all have NFT avatars as their Twitter handle. And why is that? All right. A lot of these athletes are, again, paying attention to what's going on. Wait a minute. We got traditional deals where I'm only getting 5 to 10%, or I have to wait to get a brand payout. They are huge advocates of this space because it advocates for full ownership of the creator and or the buyer. All right. And another thing to look at with these NFTs, you see, we'll talk about them soon. All right. They have grown increasingly within the communities in terms of price, popularity, and utilization. All right. The main thing that we want to think about when it comes to NFTs is the word utility. I wish I had it written down, but I don't. Now, if you're taking down notes, you want to jot down utility. We want to be purchasing projects that have real life meaning. All right. Utility pretty much is, what can this project do for me? Is it just a picture, or are they doing things in the community? Is it just a picture, or does it grant me access to special events? Is it just a picture, or does it allow me to get 50% off at my favorite store? All right. Those are the difference between the great NFT projects and the regular NFT projects. I also would explain non-fungible tokens similar to collectibles or trading cards. But instead of me having, 3 trading cards in my hand, all right, and having them sit in the back of my room, I now can own NFTs that somebody's willing to make an offer. People can bid, all right, and they become literally a digital asset. All right, and this is what we call the Bored Ape Yacht Club. And you see, who some of the members are. We had Jay-Z, we have Steph. It's a lot of different individuals. Lil Baby's a part of it. And for them, they look at it like, hey, they're going to spend this money on an NFT, but for them, it's also a social club. All right, they get on yachts, they do networking. All right, it's almost like its own mini, I guess, fraternity or sororities, you could call it. So some of these do have networking opportunities. All right, and so they're not just pictures. And to answer the biggest question I know a lot of people may have is, why the heck would somebody spend 6 figures? You guys see the pricing of this. All right, this is actually from 2021. But why would somebody spend 6 figures or $500 or even $100 on a picture that I could screenshot? All right, what's the point? All right, the point is, you can screenshot all you like. All right, but there's power in ownership. It's no different than going to a house and taking a picture of the house, but you don't have the keys. Going to a car dealership, taking a picture about a car, all right, but you don't own the car. All right, it has no value. The value is in the ownership. All right, exactly, the hash ID. All right, so it physically needs to be in your wallet for you to be able to utilize those utilities. Okay, so let's talk about this as well. It's going to be a little bit advanced, but I still want to be able to cover this with you guys, because we have a lot of smart and talented individuals on the call. All right, and I need us to be smart, all right, as we kind of get into this space, because with great opportunity, family, I'm going to be honest, there's always great risk. All right, and in life, in business, in career, if there's no risk, family, then it's probably not worth it long term. It has to be, we have to give up something. All right. And I want to teach you guys a little bit about how to be safe on the blockchain, not safe in terms of your, physical safety, but safety in terms of your money. You got to treat this like a 6-7 figure vault, even though you may have $6 in there. All right. So once you open the wallet, family, all of this is happening in code. So if we have any software engineers on the call, you might be able to understand this a little bit more than everybody else. But, all of this is going on through coding. All right. They're using private keys, networking, and all of this is happening in the span of minutes. But the main thing that I want you guys to pay attention to is this. There's actually, and this is something that took me a long time to learn. All right. When it comes to Bitcoin, anytime you send, purchase, or sell Bitcoin, a lot of people don't know it's a real action that's going on. There's a computer in a warehouse in the middle of Nebraska, or in the middle of nowhere, or maybe down the street from you, that is actually processing these orders. Just like at a bank where a machine or a person is processing orders, somebody has to physically mine the transaction. All right. You can actually buy your own mining machine. Actually not as expensive as you think, a few $1,000s to have your own mining machine, and you pretty much make change off the transactions every day, but it takes a lot of electricity to be able to power them. All right. That's the main thing that I want you guys to pay attention to. Secondly, is you're going to have a private key. All right. Once you create one of those apps that we talked about, they're going to give you a private key. You want to write it down and treat it like literally the key to your safe. All right. The key to your 8, 7, 6-figure safe. All right. And I love that. We got a great comment down here. We said somebody told me that's like taking a picture of famous artwork. Yep, you can take a picture of the Picasso, but it's a difference from actually buying it, having it in your house, than just printing it out or having it as your lock screen. All right. It's really a collector's game. The same rules apply, but now we're able to take it to the next level because it's Web3 and it's digital. All right. So now, again, another advanced topic. All right. But I want you guys to write this down. And, one day when it's time to do it, or next month, or as you get further in your crypto journey, you're going to remember, that guy Nigel was talking to me about this. All right. We're going to talk about the difference between mining and staking. All right. So mining literally is the probability on the amount of work done by the miner. So again, it's like a person in front of a computer or a machine that is processing these transactions. All right. So you literally can have your own mining machine, or you can be invested into a mining company. All right. But this is like a physical thing that is literally happening. All right. Next thing that we have, family, is staking. All right. Staking is almost like the modern day savings account, but way better. All right. Way better. On average, at your traditional bank, I'm going to take it to finance really quickly. Your traditional bank is only giving out about 0.01, 0.02 to maybe, if you're lucky, 1% savings. All right. So that means if you have $100 in there, you'll be blessed to get $1 back at the end of the year. Maybe if you have a great bank, you get $2 back. All right. And we know that inflation is happening 6% year over year. I mean, the gas prices are jumping 20% month over month. Everything is getting more expensive. You're actually losing money theoretically by keeping something in a savings account. And it's not to tell you all not to save. I love saving money. It's helped me get to where I'm at today. But what I am saying is that there are other opportunities for you to save at a higher aggressive rate. And that's what we call staking. It's pretty much where you park your money in a network. All right. They utilize the money for liquidity. All right. They use it for mining, pretty much to run their business. So Ethereum, you can stake Bitcoin, the top biggest cryptocurrencies, you're able to do this. All right. And they pay out dividends, almost like a stock. All right. Almost like a video game where they pay you in bonus points. All right. But they pay you real money for simply staking, AKA holding, AKA doing nothing with your cryptocurrency coins. All right. And we're almost at the end, guys. I hope you all are loving it so far. But the biggest reason why people haven't invested into cryptocurrency at all, again, is because, they don't understand it enough. All right. The next thing is they don't think it's secure. All right. But what I'm telling you is that there are a lot of ways to go about it. You have investors, you have collectors, you have miners, you have people that stake, you have people that, just like people doing credit cards, they get into cryptocurrency for the reward points. You have some people that do it. Maybe their credit is bad. Maybe they messed up their finances earlier in life and they got to go to crypto route because they don't have a credit score. All right. They think another reason why is there's not enough money to invest in anything. Here's the biggest problem. This is what I want to teach overall. It's not about cryptocurrency. You could apply this with any type of investing, whether money, work, relationships, or anything. All right. The concept is you just want to be consistent. How you handle $100 is going to be the same way that you handle 10,000. So with you getting $100 a week at that campus job, with you getting $500 a week at that warehouse, at that fast food, with that whatever opportunity that you're in, you still want to practice the principles of saving money. You still want to practice the principles of investing money. So that way, when you get that big job, when you get that big opportunity, when the big bands start coming in, you've already built up the muscle memory and the habitual habits to make it make sense money-wise. All right. So that's one thing I wanted to say on that. Obviously, people think they can't spend it anywhere. We know that that's false. All right. They think the prices move up and down too much. I mean, at the end of the day, I love that. I love for the market to be moving. All right. I'm not putting my life savings into crypto. There's also things called stable coins, all right, where the market literally stays the same. And those are great places and coins to stake at as well. All right, guys. And if you want to get in touch with me before we get into a few of these questions, you have my information here at Nigel's Canvas. You can hit me up on Instagram, hit me up on Twitter, and definitely connect with me on LinkedIn. And I just want to highlight before we get to the questions, guys, I'm literally somebody that did not know anything. All right. I'm somebody that came to A&T, just really ready to learn, willing to take advantage of opportunities like this. And literally only 10% of people are going to do what I'm about to recommend next. All right. The next thing that I'm going to recommend is reach out. All right. After I heard every speaker speak, I always reached out, and these ended up being business partners for me down the line. These ended up being investors. These ended up being people that got me into the positions and roles at Facebook and all these different companies. And even shout out, Ms. Brittany and Mr. Harrison. I reached out to them. I stayed in great touch with them. And look, here I am a few years later speaking to you all. So you guys have my information. Hit me up on Instagram. I'll follow you back. Hit me up on Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever you guys need. I got you. You guys have invested time into this. So I'm going to invest back into you all. And if we can go ahead and take probably about 3 to 5 questions, and then we'll go ahead and make our way. All right.
Thank you, Nigel. First question I see just popped up. Could you define mining again?
For sure. So pretty much when it comes to mining, this is the process of cryptocurrencies being made, created, and invested. Anything regarding a transaction in cryptocurrency, a lot of people don't know, but it's a physical process. Like there's a warehouse or a computer literally putting that code in. It's a piece of code. It's actually something like, when you send somebody some money, like a wire transfer, it takes time. And usually they may have to call you or they have to process it. It's no difference here. Just the process of the cryptocurrency being processed. So I hope that helps.
Thank you. Next question that just came in. Can you explain the whole .eth and how that can be beneficial in the crypto and Web3 space?
For sure. So a little bit advanced. I don't have a slide on that, but that question is referring to having your own username in the crypto space. So the greatest way that I can explain it is everybody has their own Instagram name, has their own Cash App name, and it's one of one. I can't take it. All right. So if somebody wanted to Cash App me money, they would send it to Nigel's Canvas, $. All right. But you can actually do the same thing in the crypto space. You can create a username. So instead of me having to put in your 16-digit Bitcoin code, somebody can send me money at nigelscanvas.eth. All right. And we call that an Ethereum name service, ENS for short. If you guys want to look that up, it doesn't cost much. And they did a huge, airdrop giving away money to all the participants who originally got one. So it's definitely a great idea to get a username and have that ownership over your own wallet.
Yes, I agree with Jordan. Makes so much sense. That was very clear to me also. Thanks for explaining that. I have a question. You can continue to put them in the chat, students.
Hey, Mr. Harrison, you've also got 2 hands raised as well.
Okay, thank you. Do you see who that is now?
It's Samuel. Samuel, you can go ahead and come off mute.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Sir.
Hey, Nigel. My name is Samuel Dixon. I'm a freshman here in North Carolina A&T, and I'm a financial literacy educator and a NFT creator as well. And I wanted you to go over a bit because I know a lot of people have some confusion about if they can transfer their cryptocurrency into real money. So could you go over some different platforms that we use to turn our cryptocurrency into spending on things in real life?
For sure. I love that question. I definitely can see where you're going with that. So to go ahead and give the disclaimer, a lot of people also do not get involved with cryptocurrency, just like Mr. Dixon says, because they believe that they can't spend it or they can't get their money out. They believe once the money is in the phone that they can never turn it into cash. But the reality is a lot of these wallets actually have their own debit card systems where you can literally have a card and go spend it anywhere you like. Number 2, you're literally able to send money from your wallet straight back into your bank account. All right. Now, the difference between the crypto wallet and the DeFi wallet is that decentralized is not connected to the bank account. What is centralized is. So all you do, family, if you wanted to take your money from Web3 or a decentralized wallet, all right, back to cash, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. We send it from the DeFi wallet to our regular crypto wallet. And then just like a bank account, you go withdraw at an ATM, you go withdraw. Like, consider these like banks. This is the new Bank of America. This is the new Chase. This is the new credit union. All right. So you send it from the DeFi back to your bank account, and you're able to withdraw either to a bank account. And if you have a card, you can actually go withdraw on any ATM. And those cards have amazing rewards, which we talked about earlier.
Great, thank you. Next question, Mr. Darian Belcher.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, my name is Darian Belcher. I'm a first year student majoring in information technology. I have a question like regarding the volatility, I guess, of the crypto market, because I guess when you talk about how like high it can get, how low it can get, depending on like events occurring in real life, like Elon Musk sending out a tweet about Dogecoin and it going up in price, or like Tesla buying a stockpile of Bitcoin and that's sending the price higher too. Isn't that a concern in the long term when it comes to investing in crypto markets?
For sure, for sure. So just want to repeat the question again. The question was, what are we doing about the volatility of cryptocurrency? And for those that may not know as well, we refer to volatility. That just means simply the up and down nature of these actual prices. And here's what I would say. That's the reality of any investment or any stock, where cryptocurrency is more volatile, yes. So the golden rule number one is we never invest anything that we need. All right. So we're never going to, go put the rent money down on an NFT or cryptocurrency. And then number two, you have to treat it as an investment and understand that the ability, if you believe in cryptocurrency, don't think about where it's going to be at next week, next month, or next year. We have to legitimately look at the 5, 10, and 15-year picture. And from our real investors, they get excited when the price goes down because it's on sale and cheaper long term. So that's what I would say. You have to assess what type of investor that you are. And if you're somebody that wants to get in and out, you may want to do a little bit more research. If you're somebody that's willing to hold it for 5 to 10 years, simply buy and hold consistently is always the best strategy.
Thank you. Dr. Knights asked a great question. What should we know about cryptocurrency and scams?
Awesome. I love that question. So again, shout out to that question because that's real. All right. There's a lot of predators in the cryptocurrency space. But let's be honest, guys, there's a lot of predators everywhere. All right. You can get scammed walking down the street just as well as you can get scammed on the internet, just as well as you can get scammed on cryptocurrency, guys. So some cardinal rules, just like the regular Web 2 internet, we never want to click any unknown links. All right. Number one, never click any unknown links. Number two, never give away your security key. All right. And number three, do your research on projects before you invest. You want to be looking to see what the founders are doing when we're talking NFTs. You want to look at, how long has this cryptocurrency been here? Obviously, most of us have heard of the Bitcoins, the Ethereums, but when it comes to those smaller coins that just were created yesterday, you really want to allow some time, look into the roadmap, see the history, and just use your best discretion. Save that security key. And just like real life, you wouldn't show your ATM pin. Just like in real life, I wouldn't tell you my phone password. It's the same type of mentality in cryptocurrency.
Ariana has a great comment. I'll just paraphrase. She likes the way you use examples to explain it. She was a little lost before, but now it's easy to understand.
I love that. That's good.
Any other questions, you all? Any other questions? I do have a question for you, Nigel. It's not quite about crypto, but I guess it ties in terms of students' ability to buy crypto and invest in general. But the importance of reducing debt, especially student loans.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So just a quick background. A lot of people may or may not know this, but about 2 years ago, I kind of, quote unquote, hit the news and had a lot of people's eyes wide. I was able, thankful to the man upstairs, but able to clear all of my student loan debt, over $48,000. I'm literally able to be cleared within, a couple of years after graduating A